So, yesterday we started discussing about mechanics. As we discussed yesterday, the mechanics has subdivided into three parts: statics, kinematics, and dynamics. Okay. So, statics is the branch of mechanics which deals with the bodies when they are at rest. Kinematics is the branch of mechanics which deals with the bodies are in motion without considering the cause of a motion. So, while dealing with the motion, we least bother about why the body is moving. What is the reason behind its motion? We least bother. If body moves, what is its speed? What is its acceleration? How it is going? Only these things will consider in kinematics. As far as dynamics is concerned, there will discuss the cause of a motion also. We'll consider the reason behind its motion also. So if body moves, why the body is moving? What is the reason behind its motion? These are all we discussed in dynamics. So here basically in this chapter we are going to discuss about kinematics only. That is nothing but we least bother about the cause of a motion. Okay. Now in this chapter we will use frequently a point object. Point object. This term will be used frequently. That means now onwards if I use an object is moving. Otherwise for convenience if I say a body is moving, according to me that object is a point object. According to me that body is a point object. So again and again I may not use the word point object like that. Simply if I say the object or simply if I say the body, that indicates that my intention is a point object. What do you mean by this point object? What do you mean by this point object? If the size of the body is very small compared to the distance traveled by it. If the size of a body is very small compared to the distance traveled by it, then that body or that object we call it as a point object. If the distance traveled by any object is very large compared to its size, For example, if I am going by a car, so here I am going by a car from one point to another point. So this is one beautiful car what I am considering. This is one car. On that car I am moving from A to B. Obviously, the distance traveled by this car, is not much larger than its size. It will be larger, but not much larger than its size. In such a case, this car cannot be considered as a point object. When this car can be considered as a point object, for example, if I am moving from one point to another point, which is 1 kilometer far, 1 kilometer far. Now here the distance between A and B is 1 kilometer. Now, definitely the distance traveled by this car is much larger than its size. In such a scenario or in such a case, we can consider this car as a point object. For example, you take train also, no problem. As we know, the train is having a very huge or very large in size. But when you are moving on a train or a train is moving, from Ballari to Hospet. So almost, which is 60 kilometers farther. Whenever your train is moving from Ballari to Hospet, compared to that distance, 60 kilometers, the size of a train is very, very, very small. In such a case, the train can be considered as a point object. Whereas, if you are moving from what I call in Ballari only, day scholars I am saying in Ballari only, two stations are there. One main station, one cantonment station. But the distance between those two stations are not much large. In such a case, the train cannot be considered as a point object. So what do you mean by the point object? The distance traveled by any object is much larger than its size, or the size of an object is much smaller than the distance traveled by it. Same statement I am telling. Okay. The distance traveled by an object is much larger than its size, then that object will be considered as a point object. Okay. Now I am going to discuss about point object. Now I am going to use the word object, or I am going to use the word a body is moving. According to me, a body means a point object. Okay. Now, already we are very familiar about what is rest and what is motion. Already we discussed. Those two topics also belongs to this chapter only. And already we discussed what is the distance and what is the displacement also. With different examples, we discussed distance and displacement. Finally, we concluded that the distance will be always greater than or equal to distance. The displacement will never be greater than the distance. Why? Because the displacement is nothing but it is the shortest distance. Okay, we analyzed or we discussed with many examples there. And one more point also we discussed, that the distance will be always positive, whereas the displacement might be positive or negative or even zero also. Those are all we discussed. Now the speed. Speed. What do you mean by the speed? Speed is nothing but the rate of change of position. The rate of change in position is called speed. Is called speed. The rate of change in position is called speed. Here rate is not nothing but cost. Here rate is nothing but with respect to a time. That is nothing but speed is means change in position divided by time. Speed is nothing but change in position by time. Whenever in the denominator time factor is there, now the statement starts from the rate of. The rate of change in position is nothing but change in position by time. The rate of change of velocity, that is nothing but change in velocity by time. The rate of change in momentum, that is nothing but the change in momentum by time. Whenever the statement starts from rate, that implies that in the denominator we have to go with the time. Speed is equal to change in position by time. The change in position itself we call it as a distance. Distance by time. The speed is denoted with the symbol V, is equal to distance is denoted with the symbol S. Time is denoted with the symbol T. V is equal to S by T. This is the formula to find out the speed. V is equal to S by T. Then how you will measure the speed. What units will be used to measure the speed is in SI system, SI system, CGS system and all. In SI system, the distance is nothing but a length. Length will be measured in meter. T is nothing but a time. In SI system, the time will be measured in seconds. So meter per second is the unit of meter per second is the unit of speed in SI system. If I go with a CGS system, the distance to be measured in centimeter, the time will be measured in second. So centimeter per second is the unit of speed in CGS system. Generally, we'll express in SI system only. Okay. So speed is nothing but, frankly speaking, with layman's language, we can say speed is nothing but the distance by time. Distance by time. Distance will be represented with S by T. V is equal to S by T. This speed is classified into different types. First one is uniform speed. Uniform speed. First one. Uniform speed. No doubt. If a body covers, first you note down, later I will explain. If a body covers equal distances, if a body covers equal distances in equal intervals of time, if a body covers equal distances in equal intervals of time, however small, EVER, however small those intervals may be, then the body is said to be moving with uniform speed. Then the body is said to be moving with uniform speed. What does that mean? So according to the statement, if a body covers equal distances in equal intervals of time, for example, A, B, C, D I am considering. So the distance between A and B is 2 meter, B and C is also 2 meter, C and D also 2 meter. If a body takes a time of 1 second to travel A to B, the same 1 second here also, the same 1 second here also. That is nothing but a body covers equal distances in equal intervals of time. A body covers equal distances in equal intervals of time, however small those intervals may be. What do you mean by the however small those intervals may be? So there will be no restriction that it should be only 2 meters or the time should be only 1 second. Whatever might be the small value you take. For example, you take it as a 0.2, you take it as a 0.1. 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1. There also the body is moving with uniform speed. That is the meaning of however small those intervals. Whatever the small those intervals may be, Here the criteria is it has to travel equal distances in equal intervals of time. That's it. Then we can say a body is moving with uniform speed. Okay. Next one is non-uniform speed. Non-uniform speed. Non-uniform speed. If a body covers, no doubt, few times he will ask for 1 mark and 2 marks, these definitions as for PUC is concerned. If a body covers equal distances, if a body covers equal distances in unequal intervals of time, equal distances in unequal intervals of time, or unequal distances in equal intervals of time. Unequal distances in equal intervals of time, however small those intervals may be, however small those intervals may be, then the body is said to be, moving with, non-uniform speed. Non-uniform speed. You just go through the statement again. If a body covers equal distances in unequal intervals of time, or unequal distances in equal intervals of time, however small those intervals may be, then the body is said to be moving with non-uniform speed. What does that mean here? Again, the same example I am taking, very good, from A, B, C. Between A and B is 2 meter. Between B and C is also 2 meter. Here if it takes a time of 1 second, for example, I am considering from B to C, it takes a time of 2 seconds. Then what is the speed of the body between A and B? What is the speed of the body between A and B? 2 by 1, which is equal to 2 meters per second, because speed is nothing but distance by time. Here the distance is 2 and the time is 1. Here between A and B, the speed is 2. Whereas between B and C, what is the distance? 2. What is the time? 2. So 2 by 2 will get the 1. So between A and B, its speed is 2 meters per second. Between B and C, its speed is 1 meter per second. So obviously, these two values are not uniform. These two values are not same. So I can say that a body is moving with non-uniform speed. Similarly, if I take between A and B is 12 meter, between B and C is 2 meter. Here is also it takes a time of 2 seconds, 2 seconds. Unequal distances, because here 12 and here it is 2, unequal. Unequal distances in equal intervals. Unequal distances in equal intervals. Then, see here, what is the speed now? Between A and B, 12 by 2. which is equal to 1. What is the speed between B and C? 2 by 2, which is equal to 1. So here, so 12 by 2, which is equal to 6. 12 by 2, which is equal to 6. Now between A and B, 6. Between B and C, 1. So a body is moving with non-uniform speed. But we should not use the word. If a body covers unequal distances in unequal intervals, unequal distances in unequal intervals of time, sometimes it may or sometimes it may not consider as an uniform. For example, you take this is also 12 now. Unequal distances in unequal intervals. Then here what is the speed? 12 by 12, which is equal to 1. 2 by 2, which is equal to 1. Now it becomes uniform. That's why we should not use unequal intervals of time in unequal intervals. I mean to say it covers an unequal distances in unequal intervals of time. Sandeep. Class lo Sandeep. Hello. Okay. Now this is called as a non-uniform speed. So non-uniform speed is nothing but equal distances in unequal intervals or unequal distances in equal intervals. If you take unequal distances in unequal intervals of time, it may or may not be. It may or may not be. Okay. So that's why non-uniform speed. Apart that, here we have to go with an important concept, that is an average speed, which is very, very important. We'll derive few formulas regarding this. Average speed. The word average speed generally will be used whenever a body is moving with a non-uniform speed. Whenever a body is moving with non-uniform speed. Here, what do you mean by this average? Average speed is nothing but total distance traveled by total time. Total distance traveled in a total time will give the average speed. Total distance traveled by a total time, in a total time. So the average speed is denoted with the symbol V bar. V bar is equal to total distance by total time. Total distance by total time. For example, I am considering A, B, C. Between A and B, the distance is S1. It takes a time of T1 seconds. Between B and C, the distance is S2. It takes a time of T2. Then here, what is the total distance here? Total distance is nothing but S1 plus S2 divided by total time T1 plus T2. So this is the formula to find out the average speed, which is equal to S1 plus S2 by T1 plus T2. So mainly the concept of average speed will be used whenever a body is moving with non-uniform speed. For example, if you go with a uniform speed is nothing but, what I can say, the equal distances in equal intervals. So for example, this is a 2, this is a 2, this is a 2, and this is a 2. Okay. Now, the speed between A and B is 1. The speed between B and C is also 1. Whereas, if I go with an average value, total distance by total time, here S1 is equal to 2, S2 is equal to 2. 2 plus 2 by 2 plus 2, 4 by 4, which is equal to 1. So, whenever a body is moving with uniform speed, the average speed will be equal to its instantaneous speed. What do you mean by this instantaneous? Instantaneous is nothing but at a particular instant. At particular instant, the speed at a particular instant, we call it as an instantaneous speed. For example, I am moving from A to B. Now it is moving with an uniform speed of 2 meters per second. If I want to know what is its speed exactly at C, so the speed of a body at a particular instant, for example, if it is a 10-meter, C is the midpoint. What is the speed at 5 meters? What is the speed at particular instant? That speed we call it as an instantaneous speed. Otherwise, it takes a time of 3 seconds. After 1 second, what is its speed? The speed of a body at a particular instant. Here instant with respect to a time. Here instant with respect to a distance. So, the speed of a body at any particular instant, we call it as an instantaneous speed. Whenever a body is moving with uniform speed, its average speed and instantaneous speed will be same. Whenever a body is moving with a uniform speed, these are all note points you have to note down. Whenever a body is moving with an uniform speed, its average speed and instantaneous speed will be equal or will be same. Its average speed and instantaneous speed will be equal. You know what is an instantaneous speed? The speed at a particular instant. That instant may be with respect to a distance or with respect to a time. Now we'll discuss different formulas for average speed. Note down. If a body covers first half of the distance, if a body covers first half of the distance with a speed v1, first half of the distance with a speed v1, and the next half of the distance with a speed v2. First half of the distance with a speed v1 and the next half, that is the remaining half, next half of the distance with a speed v2. Then its average speed is, read that. That formula is very, very important as for object point of view, competitive examinations. A body covers first half of the distance. First half. Andre, if the total distance is s, if the total distance is s, so this is the first half and this is the second half. First half is s by 2 and second half is also s by 2. AB I am considering as an S1, BC I am considering as an S2. Between A and B, its speed is V1. Between B and C, its speed is V2. So what the statement he gave? If a body covers first half of the distance with a speed V1, next half with a speed V2, then he is asking us to find the average speed. Then what is the formula for average speed? The average speed is equal to total distance traveled by total time taken. Average speed is equal to total distance traveled by total time taken. What is the total distance traveled? S1 plus S2. S1 plus S2 divided by total time taken. What is the total time taken? We don't know. So I am considering between A and B the time T1. Between B and C, it takes a time of T2. Between A and B, it takes a time of T1. Between B and C, it takes a time of T2. Now, total time I will write T1 plus T2. So, average speed is equal to S1 plus S2 by T1 plus T2. We don't know T1 and T2 values. Instead of T1 and T2, what he gave? V1 and V2 he gave. So, what we need to do? We have to convert T in terms of V. That's why first I am considering AB. This part I am considering AB. This part. In this part, as we know, speed is equal to distance by time. Here, what is the speed? V1. What is the distance? S1. What is the time? T1. From here, T1 is equal to S1 by V1. Right? Similarly, I am going with BC. I am going with BC now. There also, V2 is equal to S2 by T2. From here, T2 is equal to S2 by V2. V2 is equal to S2 by T2. From here, T2 is equal to S2 by V2. Now you substitute those values there. Now average speed V bar is equal to, what is the formula? S1 plus S2 divided by T1. T1 is nothing but S1 by V1. T2 is nothing but S2 by V2. Because in the problem, he don't know, he didn't give the value of S. How much S value he didn't give. He gave only V1 and V2 values, that's all. So, but he said first half. So, S1 is equal to S by 2. S2 is also S by 2. S1 is S by 2. Okay. Plus S by 2 V2. S by 2 plus S by 2. Yes. I will take a common of S by 2. So if I take a common of S by 2, here we will get 1 by V1 and here we will get 1 by V2. Now this S and S will cancel. Now what is the formula? V bar is equal to 1 by, what I can write? 1 by 2 into 1 by V1 plus 1 by V2. If I take an LCM in the denominator, 1 by, if I take an LCM V1, V2, then in the numerator we'll get V1 plus V2. Here I am taking an LCM as V1, V2. Then we are going to have V1 plus V2. The same thing I will rewrite with your permission. V bar is equal to 2V1, V2 by V1 plus V2. Here I am taking the reciprocal. So the formula for average speed in such a case, which case it is? If a body covers equal distances, if a body covers first half of the distance with a speed V1 and the remaining half with a speed V2. Today after my class, whenever you get a free time, today evening or tomorrow, you try to derive again this derivation. Because of this is an online class, personally I cannot touch you. I cannot come to you and I cannot explain. Okay? Okay. So here, copy it. Because of here only 2 parts I consider, easily we can derive. Instead of 2 parts, if I take a 3 parts, 3 parts is nothing but first 1/3 of the distance with a speed V1, next 1/3 with a speed V2, remaining 1/3 with a speed V3. Then what is the formula? Okay, 3 is also okay. If I take 4 parts, that is first 1/4 of the distance with a speed V1, next 1/4 with a speed V2, next 1/4 with a speed V3, final 1/4 of the distance with a speed V4, then what is the average speed? So for every case, if you keep on solving like this, it's a bit difficult. That's why I want to generalize this formula. I want to generalize that formula. So to generalize this formula, I am taking this step to generalize. So what I am doing is, this formula will be applicable if and only if first half and the second half. If the number of parts are more, this formula we cannot use. For that I want to generalize. The average speed we got 1 by 2. The average speed is equal to 1 by 2 into 1 by V1 plus 1 by V2. If I cross multiply, V bar by 2 is equal to 1 by, cross multiplication 1 by V1 plus 1 by V2. I want to generalize this formula now by taking the reciprocals. 2 by V bar is equal to 1 by V1 plus 1 by V2. So this is the generalized formula. Two by V bar is equal to 1 by V1 plus 1 by V2. Taking reciprocals. Okay. This entire term I am considering as an x. 1 by x, if I take a reciprocal, x by 1. Now, okay. Now you note down. Note. If you further simplify that, you are going to get this formula only. After taking LCM and all, you are going to get this formula only. Next, note. If a body covers first 1/3 of the distance, if a body covers first 1/3 of the distance with a speed V1 and next 1/3 with a speed V2, first 1/3 with a speed V1, next 1/3 with a speed V2, next 1/3 with a speed V3, then its average speed is, now I will consider like this. Total distance is S. First 1/3 of the distance, S by 3 with a speed V1. Next 1/3 of a distance with a speed V2. And the last 1/3 of the distance with a speed V3. First 1/3 with a speed V1, next 1/3 with a speed V2, final 1/3 with a speed V3. Then its average speed. This formula we derived for 2 parts. Now I want to implement the same formula for 3 parts. Then what it will be? 3 by V bar is equal to 3 by V bar is equal to 1 by V1 plus 1 by V2 plus 1 by V3. Like this we can generalize. Again, if I take the 4 parts is nothing but first 1/4 First 1/4 with a speed v1. Next 1/4 with a speed v2. Next 1/4 with a speed v3. And remaining 1/4 with a speed v4. 4 parts ಮಾಡಿದನೆ ಇವಾಗ. Previously 2 parts. Just now, before we did 3 parts, 3 equal parts. Now 4 parts. In such a case, what is the formula for average speed? 4 by V bar. 2 ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ 2, 3 parts ಇದ್ರೆ 3, 4 parts ಇದ್ರೆ 4, n parts if I have n ಅಷ್ಟೇ. 4 by V bar is equal to 1 by V1 plus 1 by V2 plus 1 by V3 plus 1 by V4. Okay? So next class, that will be that is on Monday. We are going to solve few problems based on this. Before that, either today evening or tomorrow, again you try to derive those derivation. This derivation, try to solve it so that you will understand. Okay? You practice the derivation. As for PUC is concerned, the derivation is not there. But what I will do is, each and every formula come across in PUC. Each and every formula I am going to derive. It will help you to solve the numericals. Instead of dictating the problems, I want to derive each and every formula. It will come across in our first PUC and second PUC. Okay? So there I will particularly mention, will it be important for PUC or not? Based on that, your preparation should be. But still it's a beginning. You try to derive this derivation again. You try to practice it. Okay?